Your event is starting. Let us see. We're going 12 minutes early. 12 minutes. Oh, ICS versus Echo. That is a good question. Let's see. Go start my event, please, YouTubes. Still not showing up, huh? I don't know if you guys can see me right now. We are waiting for the YouTubes to catch up, if you will. Let's see if it's done now. There it is. Yay. Perfect. The stream is up and going. I'm going to scroll back up and answer some of these questions that you guys have been asking in the chats, the chitty chat. Where was I? Okay, here we go. To answer, Jorge, I'm guessing, is how you pronounce that. Jorge, how can a team get sponsored? Do they have to be good or buy a lot of Airsoft stuff from the store? We sponsor teams that help out the community a lot. We're really into teams that are more than just playing Airsoft. You know, Airsoft is fun. We all enjoy playing the game. But when it comes down to it, you know, people who are out there helping newer players, teaching people the ins and outs of Airsoft, being honorable players, calling their hits. You know, we try to sponsor people who bring more to Airsoft than just, hey, we're a team and we play Airsoft occasionally on the weekends. Because for us, Airsoft is more than that. Airsoft is our livelihood, it's our business, and we want to have a team that can reflect that on the Airsoft field. So we sponsor Team Therapist and Disposable Heroes. A big shout out to both of those teams. Disposable Heroes is a lot of prior military, which are awesome, awesome dudes. And Team Therapist is honestly one of the funniest group of dudes I've ever had the privilege of hanging out with. And I really want to get down there to play Airsoft soon. But, you know, it just takes time. San Diego is a little far away. So, yeah, with that being said, we do sponsor teams, but it's a pretty short list, and getting on that list is incredibly difficult. To finish that question, I guess, let me introduce myself. My name is Josh. If you guys don't know who I am one of the producer editors here at Airsoft GI, alongside Ross. He's much better than I am at videos. But, yeah, we do videos. I do videos, I should say, and that's what I do at the company. So, I've been playing Airsoft for quite a while, so if you guys have questions, make sure you ask them in the comments. We're starting a little bit early today because, I don't know, it's the New Year's. I just kind of want to hang out with you guys and answer questions and just see how everyone's New Year's Eve, I guess you would say, is going. So I'm going to have questions for you guys in the chat room. So my first question is, for you guys, what do you guys feel was the coolest gun that's come out this year in Airsoft? That's always something I'm curious to see what people think, because for me personally, I don't know, it's kind of a toss-up. Like, I really like the RM4 from KWA, but then again, like that Polar Star Custom that we got built, let me rephrase that. Probably not a custom-built gun, because, I mean, anybody can throw together custom guns. More so like, what's a new gun that's come out in the industry that you guys have actually been like, wow, this is really cool, I enjoy this product. Yeah, so with that being said, you guys can answer that in the questions below, and I'm going to answer some more questions that are happening inside of the comment box. So remember, there is like a 2 or 3 minute lag, so if I'm not seeing your questions or I'm not seeing your responses, that's just because the internet in this room is no bueno. So yeah, Arizona Iced Tea, great company, love the product. These things have been at 99 cents for like literally ever since I can remember, like no inflation whatsoever. Gotta hand it to Arizona Iced Tea. Hit me up with that collab. Anyways, moving on. This is my HK45 for anybody who's wondering. I really like HK guns. They're very, very nice. Okay, let's go up into the comments and answer some more of these questions for you guys. Parker Hansen asks, have you ever found yourselves fighting against another team, evike.com, to sponsor somebody? No, because we're so limited with the selection of people that we do sponsor, we try to keep it to relatively smaller teams that, like I once again said, do more for the Airsoft community than just go play Airsoft. So we have never had any issues with that. We try to, you know, find people who are just really good guys and try to, you know, help them out as much as we can, especially within the Airsoft community. So let's move on. Oh, let's see. Wow, a lot of interesting comments. Jorge asks, is Griffin gear still on your website? I can't find it. To the best of my knowledge, it should be on there. I believe you might be spelling Griffin wrong. No I at the end. I believe it's Griff on, where you put on gear, I think was the idea. Let's see. add me on PlayStation Network. My name is, I'm not going to say except poor guy. Let's see, what else we got? This guy is Battlefield 4, rank 97. It's pretty legit. You're almost there. Keep it up. Use those XP boosts before they run out. People say they can see me. We're live. LOL, that Arizona. Reading comments. Josh, does anyone in your family play Airsoft? Yes, actually, my brother who lives in England, he is an avid Airsofter, and I try to send him out the coolest little gadgets I can get when I get a chance for holidays and stuff like that. He plays Airsoft pretty frequently, probably, I wouldn't say more than I do, but definitely gets out there and goes and plays. I haven't had a chance to play Airsoft in the UK. I know we have a lot of fans that tune in from the UK, and me being, from England, I definitely would love to get out there and play Airsoft with you guys and go just have some really cool games. I always see such amazing footage of ops that you guys get to go to. So, if you guys are out there, you like the show, and you guys want to play Airsoft, I'm going to be coming to England, I believe in June, to visit some family. So if I have time, I would love to go play Airsoft with you guys and hang out and just see all the cool kit you guys get over there that we can't get in the States. Moving on from that, somebody asked, Ball Python Man, how tall are you, Josh? I am currently 5'10". I hope that I grow taller, but since I'm 24, there's a large probability that this will be the height that I inevitably stay at. So I'm just going to keep stretching, put myself in one of those medieval torture devices and hopefully increase my height by a little bit. Actually, I don't care. I like 5'10". I think it's pretty good and pretty average, so no real problems there. I'm going to refresh the stream because I can't see any more comments, so hold on to your butts. All right, let's see. Here we go. Oh, wow. Lots of questions now. Let me scroll back up. Okay, here we go. Question, is the KW MP9 any good? Delta Games asked this. Delta Games, I own a KMP9 and a couple mags. I haven't tricked it out quite as cool as Bob's is, but it's definitely an awesome pistol. I take it with me to Tech City to use for pistol nights because you're allowed to use the semi-only feature. Excuse me, the Arizona Iced Tea. You're allowed to use the semi-only feature, which basically qualifies it as a pistol. So I get a pistol with like a crazy huge mag and a bunch of rounds. It's kind of cheesy now that I think about it, but definitely adds for a lot of fun. So moving on. What do you have to do to get a sponsor? Like I said, sponsorships are really handpicked by us. We try to choose teams that have all the qualifications that we're looking for. If you were one of those teams, we probably would be getting in contact with you if we were thinking about it. So, but like I said, if you guys do want to try to get sponsored or that's something you're interested in, you guys can email. I'm not sure who's handling those. Actually, just send them to me and I'll forward them to whoever they need to go to. My email is Josh E, the letter E, at airsoftgi.com. So Josh E at airsoftgi.com. Email me if you think your team is eligible to be sponsored by us, and I'll forward it and we'll see what happens. Let's see. Sean Kurzel says, I agree with you. The RM4 with recoil is a definitely good step in the right direction. I totally agree with you. I think that getting to realistic airsoft guns with recoil and like all those cool, doodads added in there, well, it is cool, and I definitely think there's a market for it. Sometimes those things don't always work, and they do break. I haven't had any issues with the KWA. That's not what I'm saying at all. But more moving parts does mean more things to break down in the eventuality of it. I've always really preferred, the KISS metrics. Keep it simple, stupid, because... yeah, I like things that just work and they're very simplistic. I know Airsoft is probably not a good idea to try to apply that idea to, because most of the stuff in Airsoft is not exactly the most simple things to work with. So with that being said, I definitely think it's cool that they're adding recoil to guns. I'm excited to see where this goes for in the future. I mean, I just really want to be able to play Airsoft at like 100-yard engagement distance. It would definitely make training crazier. So hopefully somebody can make BBs fly crazy far, but honestly, I did the math and it's not going to work. But maybe someone will think of something crazy. Let's see. What do you think? Oh, no, not that one. What do you think of the KJW M9 blowback with the CO2 or without? This is from 1000M Chief. 1000M Chief, I will say this. I honestly kind of been really liking CO2 guns recently. I mean, the versatility you get for cold weather is something you can't ignore. It is a very big plus. With that being said, accessibility is also another big factor for markets. I mean, if you can't get green gas, then you can't really play with your pistols. So A CO2 pistol definitely has some added advantages. I play in Southern California. Me personally, I'm going to go with green gas every single time. Just because I have the climate that can control it and we can do it that way. But for pretty much everything else, I really would probably end up going with a CO2 pistol. Just because I know, like, if I'm playing an op on the East Coast or whatever, I can drive down to Walmart, I can pick up some CO2 cartridges, they're relatively inexpensive, and have my pistol good to go no matter what. So, yeah, that's my idea on it. Moving on. Which would you prefer, an AEG that runs a LiPo or a gas blowback rifle? This is from Mosich. I'm not sure how you pronounce your name, but it's cool nonetheless. And to answer your questions, I would probably run an AEG. I like gas blowback guns. The simplicity of an AEG is something, I guess I'm kind of what's the word I'm looking for here? Going against what I just said a little bit ago about how simple they are, but the simplicity of just grabbing an AEG, throwing a battery in it, and being able to go play is really nice. And sometimes, you know, it's fun to get all kitted out and load all your mags and feel epic, but sometimes it's also fun just to grab a high cap and a light bow and just go hose down your friends. So, let's see. Moving on. Is there going to be any more Tim vs. Bob? Because Tim does not work with Airsoft GI anymore. Yes, of course, there's going to be Tim vs. Bob series. The series is not dead. It will continue. Stay tuned for more information as we progress towards that. So, let's see. I got Battlefield 4 for Christmas, and I'm a noob. Do you have any tips? Yes, I do have a lot of tips for Battlefield 4. The first one would be uninstall it and take the game back and get your money back because it's not a game. It's completely broken. There's a multitude of problems that are horrendously hurting that game. So yeah, go get a different game. Get Call of Duty Ghosts. I don't even like Call of Duty Ghosts, but I would recommend it because guess what? It works and the hit detection's actually there. I'm really serious about gaming. I have all the peripherals to make gaming the best that I possibly can be. And when I pay $60 and I get a full release that's supposed to be like that, and I get honestly the shit that they shipped out with Battlefield 4, I can't recommend it. I can't physically sit here and tell you to buy Battlefield 4 because I think honestly that they really screwed over their fans. And I've been a Battlefield series fan for a long time. Played all the games a lot. And Battlefield 4, since I got it and since all the bugs, I haven't even played. I don't know. I haven't played it in probably 2 weeks. Which kind of makes me sad. Like, I really wanted to play that game and have a lot of fun with it with my friends, and they just really didn't do a good job and ruined it. So, no recommendations from me on that game whatsoever. So, if you want information on that, there's tons of people doing YouTube videos about how horrible the quality of the game is. So, if there's tons of information on it, I'm not going to go on too long. But with that being said, yeah, I would not recommend it. Moving on. Josh, do you play Call of Duty Ghosts? I don't. I did play a lot of Modern Warfare 2 back in the day. I had a pretty good clan. We used to play a lot. I really enjoyed it. But I'm not into it anymore. Let's see. What is your favorite Airsoft sniper that you would recommend for a starter gun? Easy. JG Bar 10. JG Bar 10s are very inexpensive. They have a lot of awesome upgrade parts, and they're just a pretty cool looking gun in general. So the Remington R700 or whatever the designation for the real world version of that gun would be is a pretty cool looking gun, and I've shot one before. Yeah, they're just really cool guns. I like them. Let's see. Canada has the best winter airsoft. You need to come up north. I want to go up north and play airsoft out there. Just go to Canada in general. It's a beautiful country. Yeah, beautiful place. I love all the cool pictures I see that come out up there. And the airsoft looks like it's pretty freaking epic. So definitely want to get up there. Daniel will be here sometime soon. It's 2:01, so I think he went to lunch a little late with some of the managers. So hopefully he'll be back soon. For now, it's just me. You guys get Josh's mind, I guess, so to speak. What if it's like Matt's mind? Nah, this is cooler. Shout out to you, Matt. You're a cool guy. Okay, is Airsoft GI going to come up with any more ops at Ballahack? I would love to go back to Ballahack. They just had a record day for like 375 airsofters for a normal day of airsofting, which is mind-blowingly huge. So shout out to Christopher Ratton and all the guys out there who are doing an amazing job over at Ballahack. I would love to get out there and play some games over there soon. So hopefully we'll do something this new year with them. So Tump Master in the house. What's up, Tumpy? Thank you so much for all the Facebook stuff you do. It's awesome. We really appreciate it. And you run, honestly, I go to your blog all the time to check up on airsoft news or something that I'm not aware of. So definitely appreciate all the work you do, Tumpy. Big shout out to you. And hopefully you get a medal in airsoft nominations. I know I voted for you when I did my voting, so I hope it all works out, man. Much love, as they would say in the crew. Let's see what else we got here. Greg Wong in the house, Spartan 117 GW, representing the United States in the Battlefield 4 game. That was awesome, Greg. Way to go. That was really cool. I watched a little bit of the footage. Didn't have a lot of time, but it was really cool to watch you go kick some butt out there in the Battlefield 4 video game that they played. Sorry, I'm a little frazzled today, guys. I got a lot of questions. Trying to just relax, take a breath, breathe for a second. Let's see. Somebody asked, how did you get into Airsoft? Airsoft started for me as kind of I played paintball. It was cool. I liked it. I played paintball in the cold in Utah, and it just really hurt a lot to get hit by a paintball when it's chilled. Like getting hit with a marble, I guess, so to speak. So I kind of was just like, yeah, paintball's cool. I got out of it. Then I started liking real guns, and I noticed there was a correlation between real guns and airsoft guns, and it was just kind of like match made in heaven. Then I moved to California, and they took all my rights away. So, yeah, happens. Hey, Mark. Let's see. What is a good AEG for around $300? Pretty much anything that KWA makes is a pretty good AEG for around that price bracket. Would you agree, Mark?
I would agree.
Good, Mark. I'm glad you agree. Let's see. Let's one back up. I love the live streams, but this is the first time the chat's ever worked for me right. Need to do this more in 2014. Yeah, Tumpy, the chat system for YouTube is really, well, not very good. So hopefully they'll fix more of that in the future and we can actually read you guys' comments, because I would love to answer them, but it's hard sometimes because they can't see them. For everybody, this is
Mark.
Mark, if you don't know. Just saying, why new people, man. Mark is our resident tech/guru for knowledge. If I ever have any airsoft questions, it's usually going to this guy. So if I get your question wrong on Facebook or I answer you wrong, because you got it wrong. No, I'm kidding. Let's see what else we got. CO2 cartridges, like $20 for 40 cartridges. See, that's what I'm talking about. $20 for 40 cartridges of CO2 will last you quite a while. I think it's like 3 CO2 per mag for the Elite Force, so that's a lot of gameplay.
It also depends on the temperature outside. So if
Gotcha.
it's really cold, obviously it's not going to last as long.
I agree. Let's see what else we got. When will you restock the GHK G5 in black? I don't know. Hopefully when they come in, we'll probably put them back in stock. I work in marketing. I don't know when like a lot of the products and stuff are coming in. We know a roundabout date of when stuff arrives, but honestly, like it's really up to the manufacturers. We order as much as we need to for the company, and it just takes time getting it from the manufacturers because, well, they're not all in the United States, and it's just difficult sometimes. Someone asks, are polar systems worth the money? What do you think, Mark? Are polar systems worth the money?
Polar systems? What is a polar system?
A polar star system.
A polar star system.
Yes.
Okay. Polar star system just has its pros and cons, just like any other gearbox out there.
Is it worth the money?
As a tech, I personally don't think it's actually, how should I answer?
Well, you're a tech. You actually like working on
I do love working on
I think there's a bit of a different mindset with polar star systems that a lot of people don't take into consideration. Mark has a lot of guns and really enjoys working on them. I have a lot of guns and I hate working on them. So for me, a polar star system is like, oh, I get like ultimate reliability and performance. Sure, I'll just put this in my gun. This is amazing. And then Mark's like, true. Maybe I want to tune my SCAR to be CQB, or maybe I want to do long range. Like I can just tune it and figure out how to get it to whatever I want it to. So, and that's kind of the aspect. You know, it's like guys who like working on cars versus it's like, you know, like buy a Honda Civic, or not a Honda Civic, buy like a, I don't know, 1993 Mazda RX-7, fix it up, have an awesome car that everyone likes, or buy a Mercedes that already has everything ready to go. You know, different kind of methodologies.
Thank you, Josh. See, man of wisdom right here.
I did my best. Call of Duty Ghosts are overpowered dogs. I don't play Call of Duty Ghosts, so I wouldn't know the dogs are overpowered. Sounds dangerous though. Watch out for dogs. Let's see. I went back to Battlefield 3. It's a lot better than Battlefield 4. That is an astute observation, and I would probably do the same if I was really wanting to play a Battlefield game, I guess. Josh, do you think your Airsoft experience plays an effect on gaming, or is it the other way around? I would definitely say that I don't know. I don't think that my video game knowledge or how I play video games even remotely comes into play when I'm playing Airsoft. Like, I think the gun knowledge is there. Yes. But honestly, like, most of the time, the game developers get the gun information wrong. Like, 9 times out of 10, it's usually not. Like, the rate of fire will be off, or the round capacity will be wrong. So
range, seriously?
Range, yeah. I mean,
like, what?
There's lots of issues with video games that don't necessarily transfer over to the real steel / Airsoft world. So I would definitely say it's probably the other way around. I mean, I think what I've learned playing Airsoft and what I've learned from just kind of being in this industry and talking to a lot of military people, training, all that kind of stuff. Actually, no, it doesn't affect my gaming whatsoever. I rush around corners like an idiot and do, 360 no scopes like every other, person out there. But yeah, I would say it doesn't. I mean, I don't think it does. What about you, Mark? Do you feel like video games help your Airsoft or vice versa?
It helps out a little bit, but then it also applies to real gun maneuverability, such as whenever, like for example, when you're entering a corner, you don't charge in. As for me, I have my sight on in the game in Battlefield 4 as I cut the pie around the corner. I find it much more efficient.
You play all tactically, and I try to play tactically occasionally, but honestly, sometimes it's just fun to run and gun and just hose down some people with bullets.
But then sometimes when you're playing, you have a set of like 5 guys, and then you each have your own
certain objective.
And you're like, if you're the medic on that side, you're the support. You want to fulfill that as best of your ability. That's what keeps your squad afloat. So,
definitely, yeah.
But again, every person is different. That's just my own opinion.
Right. Let's see. More questions. Where did you get the ghillie thing from when you went to Operation Irene? All right, so I've been getting a ton of questions about this. That ghillie system is actually called a
Tactical Crusader, I think.
No. It's made by a company called Voodoo Tactical, and Voodoo Tactical has a very specific name for it on their website. I don't remember it off the top of my head right now. It's not Recon Wrap. It's the Voodoo Tactical guy is going to kill me if he sees this. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. If you guys really want to know, message me on Facebook, and I'll try to send you a link so you guys can check it out. It's by a company called Voodoo Tactical. So if you are looking for it, Voodoo Tactical is the company that makes it. But on the website, it actually has stuff woven into the burlap. So it doesn't look anything like what I was wearing, because I didn't have anything in it, because I wasn't using it for that purpose of concealment. Well, a little bit, but not like I'm a sniper in the woods kind of concept. See, it's actually, there's no word. Ghillie's not in the word at all. Oh. It's called something else. Yeah, that's why it's saying it's got a very unique name. Excuse me. Let's see.
Wait.
Sniper Tog. T-O-G. So on the actual website, if you guys want to look for that sniper belt I was wearing, it is called a Swanks Hydration Compatible Lightweight Sniper Tog. T-O-G is the designation for that wrap. If you guys want to know more about it. But it definitely is a pretty unique piece of kit that adds some pretty cool, well, I guess, modularity to your kit. So, Daniel has entered the building. Elvis is here, if you will. Elvis is back in black.
Elf.
Mark, am I going to take your spot?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so now that Daniel's here, we can get on to a little bit of the promos and all the stuff that we have going on in the Airsoft industry.
Sorry for being late, guys.
It's all good. I was keeping them entertained with my vocabulary.
Nice. Mark, do you want to Skype us questions? I'm going to log out of mine.
I'm actually just reading them as they come. I mean, it actually, literally, when you sat down, it started updating.
Oh, okay, cool. That works.
Yeah, we can scroll back up. Let's see. Let me scroll back up. We'll answer these questions. We'll get in the promos for you guys. This is the New Year live recap, so to speak.
The last live
show. Yeah, the last live show, definitely. Let's see, really quick. Josh, did you grow up in England? I noticed that you don't have an accent. Nathan Hunter asked that question. I did not grow up in England. I guess you would say 100% of the time. I did travel back and forth quite a bit. But the accent thing is, I don't know. I do it when I need to, but if I don't have to talk in my accent all the time, I try not to, because if I do this, it brings a lot of attention to me. So people want to ask me questions all the time. And I'm kind of a private person, so I try to keep that on the down low. But it does help with girls, I will say that. So moving on. Yeah, that sounds pretty fun. Any good feedback on the 4CRS? I've heard really good things about that gun.
Yeah, definitely. I think Jet uses that, or one of the variants of that gun.
Yeah.
VFC internal, so just overall solid. If you're thinking about getting it, just get it.
Yeah, seriously. Elite Force is a great company. They have a great repertoire of products, I guess you would say, and VFC OEMs a lot of their stuff, I think.
Yes,
right? Yeah,
a lot of their importers.
So if you're familiar with VFC and a quality bar that they set, so you should be expecting that out of your Elite Force guns and more. So let's keep moving down a little bit. I'm going to skip a little bit of questions, guys. I'm sorry. I want to kind of get to the meat of the section. Just going to answer a couple that I see. That's a good question. What is the scariest moment you've ever had in Airsoft? For me personally, this is going to sound like the most ridiculous thing ever. I was playing at Tac City, and I knew for a fact there was a couple other dudes on the other side of the team that had Polar Stars, and I was like, it's cool, whatever. I was a Polar Star owner at the time, so I was like, it's not a big deal. But in CQB, people who are really good at CQB are terrifying. like I ran up to this barrier and I just heard all of my team getting called out, and I was just like, oh shit, like, oh no, like where am I gonna go? And like I had this like fear of like they're coming for me, and then I got shot in the back profusely. But it was that kind of concept. I was like, man, I was like, I'm really afraid. Like,
just the overwhelming knowledge that they're coming.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
nothing
Just,
you can do to stop them.
No matter how good of a shot I am, whatever I do, I'm still gonna get totally mowed down. That and a couple of times at Operation Irene, I was like, shit, is that an IED I'm standing next to? Or like, what is, you know what I mean? Because there was a lot of stuff.
Question mark.
Yeah, a lot of like explosives in general on that field. So how about you? What would be your scariest moment?
One of my scariest moments, it actually happened during paintball, but airsofters can easily relate to this. I was playing at SC Village, and there was a lot of foliage and woods and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
And I'm just running full speed, and something caught my mask, and my full mask just and that moment was the scariest moment because nobody was shooting at me, but it was just the first time I was like, there's paintballs in the air, and my face is just completely, so immediately I put them like this, and find my mask and it was all good.
68 caliber round coming at your face.
Yeah,
that's real.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna cause some pain for sure.
For sure. So paintball or airsoft, if that ever happens, that was by far the scariest. But airsoft related, actually at the private game that we had a few weeks ago, I was Eric Harris, one of the oldest sales reps.
Oh, I know Eric. Yeah, he was out there playing. I saw him.
Yes,
yeah.
And this story involves he was shooting at me, and we were just engaging back and forth. And there was a moment where I had him pinned, but I was also shooting, and I was suppressing him, and I was moving at the same time, and so I can get another position. And then he pops up, and as soon as he pops up, I'm still moving and I'm still shooting, and I run out of ammo, and I hear it. Yeah, and I hear it, and then I see him, and he starts shooting. So there's this pile of rubble that's probably about like a little higher than knee high.
At SE?
Yeah,
that little pile on the far right hand side.
It wasn't at Viper. It was at, I think it was like Baghdad or something like that.
One of those other courses. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I literally throw my body in there, and I see him coming because he sees me reloading. He's coming at me like I had the P90.
Oh, you can
I was like, I love the P90, but I'm sitting there, and usually I can reload it decently quick, but my panic and adrenaline, I'm just like,
Go to pistol. Yeah, no,
it was nuts.
I could totally understand that.
A teammate saved me, so luckily I was good. Otherwise, he would have just walked up like point blank, and he would have had me.
That's one of those things that's really funny. Like, we don't talk about this a lot, but being familiar with your weapon is huge. Like in airsoft, everyone's like, "Oh, I got like 20 guns." I'm like, "Well, yeah, but what do you use the most that you're good with?" Because I get a lot of questions like, "Oh, what gear should I run?" And I'm like, I don't really know what your play style is, and if you know your gun and you have a mag pouch that's set up perfectly, like getting that reload really quick is the difference between maybe getting shot or not getting shot, you know what I mean? And it's just one of those things that I definitely think people should train more with whatever weapon you want to use the most.
I definitely agree with, and then the other thing that I'm going to add on top of that is I feel like I am pretty proficient with the P90 because I can do I'm not a
speed first gun, right?
Yeah, my first AG ever was a P90, so I can reload a P90 fairly quickly with confidence. What got me was the adrenaline and the panic and the fear. I lost my cool, and I was fumbling and I was finicking where I got tunnel vision. And it was just too much adrenaline that when that happens, I'm sure you guys have felt that on the field. Definitely. You gotta slow yourself down and just deep breath, calm, get it done, load it, and then go. Like that feeling it's so much fun because that's why we play. But
yeah, definitely.
It affects my gameplay at the same time. So that was my problem in that moment. But that was pretty fun.
I would completely agree with that. Now, I asked this questions a little bit at the beginning of the stream, and I'm kind of curious to see, now that we have 123 people in here, cool. If you guys want to answer, if you don't want to, it's cool. I would appreciate if you answer. What do you guys think is the coolest gun to come out in Airsoft this year, just this year? We talked about, I think you and Bob talked about it a little bit because I gave you guys that question. I didn't get a chance to answer it, and I answered earlier. I said mine's probably the RM42. I think that the ingenuity and the design of it is just really interesting to me. I think it's a really cool gun. I mean, I think you're kind of along the same lines.
Yeah, definitely the ERG series because it's something that's fundamentally different. A couple of other, I think the gas blowbacks, since it's been coming out more in the last few years, the industry's been coming out with more gas blowbacks. It's nice to see because AGs have been around forever, and then actually the ERG kind of fit in both.
Yeah.
The KW AK, that's fun because you got the full bolt cycle.
I haven't had a chance to actually I want to use it in a game to give my full feedback on it. Shooting it is okay, cool. You kind of get a feel for it, but once you're in playing, you kind of definitely know immediately yeah, this is what I want.
For sure.
So
definitely.
So yeah, let's move on to a little bit of the promos that we have going on at GI. It is the end of the year. I think we got a mystery box coming up.
We have a New Year's mystery box that's coming up. That's going to happen tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's a too good to be true, so it's pretty inexpensive. I think the Wii MSK is the grand prize.
Ooh, nice.
We will be doing probably one of the biggest mystery boxes that we've done all year. Or I guess it'll be the New Year's next week.
Okay.
So that's something that's really big. The grand prize is like worth $3,500, maybe. Yeah, it's gonna be
$3,500.
$3,500. Yeah, I wonder what that is.
If only there were like some guns that cost
Like
that
an airsoft
much.
gun that shoots like super fast. Maybe it could, spin and
I
stuff.
guess if I had $3,500 to spend, I would probably make like a bunch of barrels.
Yes,
And like like some kind of way to hold it. I could mount it on something. I guess
yeah.
that's kind of what I would probably spend the money
definitely.
on.
You could like hunt predators
So
with
we
it and
get a
stuff.
lot of M27s, the Vector. The Vector definitely.
The Vector is good.
Last year?
I thought that was last year. Was it this year?
I can't remember if the Vector came out in
think it was-
2012 or
I
not.
think it was last year.
I think I've been seeing it since 2012. That's probably why.
Well, we've been waiting for it forever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So.
The IAR, I think that was a really cool gun.
1800, the black card guns. The black card guns are pretty
Those
sweet.
are awesome.
Yeah,
There's
they're
some
pretty sweet.
if we're talking custom guns, that's a full another conversation.
Yeah,
Full Star Sniper.
Just saying.
Yeah. I'm trying to, if you guys haven't heard this, but Josh has his sniper, and I have my DMR that I'm trying to build and trying to match. It's not going to come
honestly,
out
it
as
might,
good,
you know,
but
you might get
we'll
a single
see.
shot that's
Yeah.
like, it's just, I think, honestly, the Polestar system just provides so much air
Yes.
to work with, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? You can really run whatever you need.
And mine's an AEG too, so that's a big difference. So maybe we'll do a comparison or something
Oh,
like
we
that.
got games coming up too. We got Bob's Over Training Camp,
Yep.
as well as Operation Reclamation 2.
Yep.
Bob's Over Training Camp, I'll talk about that when you take Reclamation. I'm kind of really excited to go to this one.
I
I
am
mean,
too.
we've got two guys who are very proficient in the military and law enforcement world that are going to be doing a lot of training to help out. Honestly, I want to be right there behind getting the training too. Like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. That's how you do it. I'm just going to film this for work.
Yeah,
So-
Sergeant. I think it's Sergeant Eric. I believe it is.
Yes.
I could be mixing up the two. I hope, hopefully not. We actually can't give the last names because they specifically asked us not to. But one of them is. I think they're both current like law enforcement, and the other is current like military that has like been working with Spec Ops, like actual Spec Ops for like
Mhm.
14 years and stuff like that.
Definitely.
So it's like full on legit guys coming, and they're gonna teach us some airsoft tactics and some real world tactics, as much as they can. But it's gonna be really really cool. So I'm stoked to go out there.
Yeah, I know, me too. I'm definitely excited. I didn't get to go to GamePod last time when we had the BBT series. I hope I get to go this time. Definitely. If anything, I might just drive up there myself.
No, we're
just
gonna
to
take
play.
you.
Yeah, I want to go and play and hang out with all you guys and just have a good time, film, and definitely take advantage of the training. Plus, the lunches out there are like phenomenal
Yes.
from what I've heard. So
Yes.
you're gonna get like, I think there was like salmon, chicken, like ribs. I think ribs, or
Yeah.
like brisket or something like that. Like amazing food for an airsoft field. Like I don't think there's any
I
other
just
field that
ate,
does
but
that.
that's making me hungry again.
I know, right? So what's going on with the training camp?
So-
or not training camp, the Operation Reclamation.
Operation Reclamation. So that game we were just talking about first, Bob's Rebel Training Camp, that's happening in Northern California, and that's going to be February 8th, I believe.
Mhm.
So it's like the first or second Saturday in February, and then the weekend after that in Virginia, there's going to be Operation Reclamation that's happening at X Zone.
Operation Reclamation 2.
Yeah,
Second
just to be clear. So this one's going to be a lot bigger. X Zone, we've worked with them. They're really, really great guys. And they're opening up their field, so it's actually going to be like 20-plus acres of land.
I know because, I mean, last time I was there, I played with a lot of you guys out there who definitely go to X Zone. And the field is really good size for, I would say probably about 50 on 50, so to speak, if you can get that many people in there. When I heard we were expanding it, I was like, man, how are we going to hold all these people? But I guess they open up so much more field that there's just so much more room to play. So I'm definitely really excited about that. I mean, if you guys haven't been to X Zone, or you have been and you haven't been back yet, this is probably a good time to get some tickets to go check out how big of an AO they're really opening it to be, I don't get to play woods ball a lot, but it's definitely a lot of fun. It's a different dynamic, you know what I mean? Wear long sleeve t-shirts.
For sure.
I'm going to say that again. I was like, oh, I know what I'm doing. I played in the woods before. This isn't a big deal. I didn't know that poison ivy and those kind of things are a really big deal over there. And bugs. Apparently there's bugs in the woods. I would have never thought. I got eaten alive. I kid you guys not. I had my entire arm was literally just bumps. It was really, really bad. So get some long sleeve t-shirts. We have BDUs, whatever color camo you're going to need for that event. So if you guys need BDUs, check out the website. But yeah, I got eaten alive. So that sweet California blood just did work on me. So
well, I'm just super excited for that game and just everything because SHOT Show is coming up. If you guys aren't aware of that, so we're going to SHOT Show and then we're going to be back here for a little bit.
The patches for Reclamation.
Oh yeah!
Awesome.
Oh my gosh!
Sorry,
Sorry, the best work.
Trying to blow out the camera with the sound, but yeah, we got some amazing patches done. Yeah, exactly. America one. I'll take the UK one. So I'll take a Union Jack. But anyways, we got some really cool patches. So if you guys do go to the Operation Reclamation 2, you guys are definitely going to get patches for whatever team you sign up for. I don't even know if we told the other guys on the East Coast that were doing
yeah, I think we sent it to them.
Oh,
If
okay.
you guys check out our main Facebook page, one of the posts that happened, I think, earlier today or yesterday, there's like a general patch that says the name of the event, and then there's also like a crest. One is like
it's really cool.
a bald eagle, just like miracle. Like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the other one is a meerkat of Ed's team, which is supposed to be the British side, and that's kind of their thing, and that looks really cool too. So really creative, and Kevin, our graphic artist, just shout out to him. He does amazing.
Oh, I know, work. Kevin, if you're watching this, congratulations on your recent engagement. That's awesome. Congratulations, man, again. And he does amazing work. I love Kevin's artwork that he does. All the patches he's made, I've always been like, that's really rad.
Yeah.
So, I did finish the Arizona iced tea. It was thoroughly delicious. Thank you for asking. It is raspberry flavored because I was feeling a bit eccentric today.
Promos? Keep going with that.
Promos, yeah, we got. I mean, we're still running.
Holiday 20s going on right now, so
okay.
taking 20% off everything that you guys are looking for.
Flat rate.
Flat rate shipping, that's the other big thing I was going to then, but it
okay.
totally works. Flat rate shipping is going to return for 2 days only starting tonight at midnight, January 1st. Happy New Year's, and that's going to go for all of the first and all of the second. So you have 48 hours to get flat rate shipping. If you guys aren't familiar with how that works, it's going to be $8.95 for UPS ground shipping all across the U.S., with the exception of Hawaii and Alaska. That's going to be $11.95 flat rate shipping.
Which is still pretty good, though.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly,
that's stellar. That totally works. And then Canada is also at $11.95.
Cool.
So I know this is really helpful because shipping, whenever you're buying from an online retailer, if it's a little bit cheaper or easier, totally works out. So that's definitely a big thing. Mystery Box tomorrow, we mentioned that already. Game events, I think what else?
Other than that, I think we got pretty much all stuff we have going
seasonal giveaways still going away. That's
the code thing, right?
Yeah, it's the passcode. Whenever you make an order, you'll get a passcode, and then you enter that into one of the pages on our website, and you have a chance to win free stuff. Essentially, what this is an online raffle, because we can't physically give you a raffle ticket and you give it back.
Right.
You type in the code, and you have a chance to win free stuff. We've given away like multiple 416s, like thousands of bags of stuff. We've given away. We're giving away, I think, when I was looking at the numbers, like 6 to 7 items daily.
Wow.
Daily. And it's anywhere from like a chest rig, play carrier, some pouches, and BBs, and to a full gun. So if you guys are making orders, you can split your orders if you want multiple passcodes and use coupons.
You might spend a little more on shipping, but hey, if you're the potential to win some cool guns or whatever the circumstance may be.
So that one's pretty cool for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
To answer a couple of quick questions, someone's saying, where is Operation Reclamation? 2 is going to be happening in not Richmond. Where is that?
It's in, I believe it's still in Chesterfield, Virginia.
So
hope I'm not
Chesterfield and Virginia on the East Coast. So if you guys want more information, that definitely head over to the website. Just type in Operation Reclamation 2, and you'll see the ticket. They might even be on the main page. And if you guys are on the West Coast and you want to go to Bob's Rebel Training Camp, definitely head over to the website. You can check out all the information for there on those tickets there. So someone also asked, do you guys ship to Canada? Of course we do. We have a Canada shipping policy. And we do not ship to England. Somebody asked a little while ago.
So with Canada, too, if you guys aren't familiar, the FPS of the gun has to be between 366 and 500. If it's below, we can upgrade it for you, but it might be a little bit more expensive. So we can get it to you guys out in Canada. Just a little bit more of a challenge.
Mr. D. Roy, I want to address something really quick because I know that this for you guys is really hard, and I want you guys to know that we understand and we're trying to work on it. Canada does get hit hard with brokerage fees from UPS. We know this. It sucks. We agree with you. It sucks. We don't have any control over the situation, but we're trying to work to maybe get some possible different carriers or whatever the circumstances would be. So letting you guys know it is on our table. We are thinking about it, and we'll try to do the best that we can for the next following years to help you guys out with that. But for now, we are still going to have to use UPS. But like I said, it is on the table. We are thinking about you guys. So if all you Canadian people out there in the Great White North, remember, we got your backs. We're working on it too. So moving on from that,
I want to address something else because I've seen a lot of questions. Is Texas? I've been seeing a lot of questions about Texas. Yes, I can't say when or where or any other details, but that is happening. So
there's a dot on the map. So
yeah, there's a dot on the map, and there's also a dot on the map, I believe, in New York.
New York, huh?
Yeah, New York. I always want to go to New York. I want to go to New York. Like, I'm excited. I get to travel a lot. That's gonna be fun. Like all these games and shot shows.
Definitely.
Shot show. Yeah.
All right, so I guess we are actually coming about the halfway point. So I mean, we've hit pretty much all the promo stuff that I feel like we kind of. I don't think there's anything else.
There's a couple more, but I'm sure I'll rember it by the end of it.
I'll probably remember it as we go. So yes, I mean, it is the end of the year. 2013 has come to a close. So yeah, I'm kind of curious to see, Daniel, like, for 2013, what do you feel like was your Airsoft highlight? I already know what you're going to say, but I want other people to know.
Irene.
Yeah.
Irene. You can't top Irene. That was probably the best Airsoft experience of my life. That was and has always been, in my mind, the Super Bowl of Airsoft. It was at Fort Knox and a Special Forces training facility, and you have like buildings and just rockets, and it was not just an Airsoft game, it was an experience. And I say that because of the sounds, because of the actors and the explosions.
I'm going to touch really quick on the sound thing. Okay, like you guys look, oh, the sounds, you get speakers playing and stuff blowing up. Like, no. You don't understand, okay? They have speakers on every single corner of a building.
It was like living in surround sound.
Yeah, so what they do is they basically, in my mind, I guess this is how it worked, they make a grid of the airsoft field, or the field, not the airsoft, the training field. And what they do is they have sound, and they run it for certain areas, so it sounds like a Black Hawk is circling the field. And, like, I don't mean like it sounds like you're listening to Black Hawk down on a TV in the other room, and it's like, oh, there's a war happening. No. It sounds like there's a like, I knew that it was speakers, and I still occasionally was like,
yeah,
oh, right.
Yeah,
I'm on a roof. I can't see a helicopter. Where the hell do I think it would come from? Like that's the kind of level of fidelity that I'm talking about, you guys. Like the AO is nothing like you can imagine. Like it is just on a whole nother level. Every building is fully furnished. There's tables. You could just put a desk against the window.
I was doing that. There was moments where I was just like, I was taking too much fire, and like we needed to get our guys through. I'm just like, hold on, guys, and they're like, what are you doing? I'm just like, table.
Yeah, exactly.
They get through. It was like,
did you see when we're okay? Just really quick, we were in the firehouse, you guys, and we were kind of firehouse is like pretty centrally located. You can overwatch a lot of buildings, especially if you got some range, which I did. So what I did was I just like, oh, this window's really open. Boom, grab a desk, pull open a bottom drawer, and just set my rifle on there, and then back it away from the window so I can still get shots. It was unreal. Like, it's just the most ridiculous amount of fun.
Well, I don't know if we, when you were up, I think that was the same tower, right? When we barricaded the stairs and stuff like that?
Yeah, same building, yeah.
Okay, so this story was awesome because it was Josh is the sniper, and then Bob's the spotter, and then me and Ross were just kind of playing security. In this game, it was a fresh start of a new day in a new game. It was like a 4 or 5 story building, right?
Yeah, I'd say about 4 or 5 stories. Yeah,
and they're on the top floor, and they're perched up, and they're good to go. But right across the street from the building, probably like 200-300 feet, which is really close, was the entire enemy team.
So I don't even think it was. Oh yeah, probably about 100 yards. I guess.
Yeah, and so they were close, and our concern was like, if they swarm the building, they're going to get in.
There's nothing we could have done. Yeah.
Me and Ross and a couple of other guys were like, chairs, tables, and everything. Put them in the stairs. So if they were trying to come up, we'd be able to hold them off until we could make an escape. And we set up like booby traps.
Yeah, they basically made like a one-man path to get through. So like you had to just kind of shimmy with one guy, which is like
upstairs with obstacles, you would die. That's like the ultimate death trap. And that was great. And just like even setting it up, and like they ended up trying to breach, and I think we got some footage of it.
Ross, you and Ross were just hosing them down as they came in.
I missed it actually.
Oh really?
Yeah,
that was all Ross's camera.
Yeah, because I was running around, and I was communicating with everybody. I was talking to you guys, and I remember they were like, "They're coming, they're coming." I was like, okay, here it comes. And then I go there, and they're like, that's like 6 guys just dead.
Just all.
Yeah. Man. But yeah, it was. Irene, by far, was definitely the best.
I would have to say so for me, too. I mean, just so many memorable moments in that game. I mean, the whole getting out there, like just going to there. And a lot of you guys don't know this, but I actually lost my wallet on like the first day. And it has like my driver's license, like my planes, like everything I need to get home, basically.
Yeah.
And I lost it like literally on the first day, and it was just like, oh my gosh, like I was so stressed out because I can't get back on the plane to go back home if I don't have my ID. We ended up finding it, but it was just kind of like, I don't know. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. It was definitely a lot of fun. Yeah. With that being said. I guess we'll open it to the comments. If you guys want to ask us questions, now would probably be a good time.
I kind of want to keep talking about 2013. Josh, what do you think in terms of gear? Because I feel like that's something is a very important part of Airsoft.
For me, I really love gear.
Yeah, and this is something I'm starting to get into because I'm not too much of a gear enthusiast, but a lot of guys in the marketing department are showing me stuff.
Gear whore.
I was trying to be nice and polite about it.
No, I'm in a Facebook group called Gear Whores Anonymous. Like, I think we've gone past that level already.
So with that being said, what do you think was either the coolest new gear, the most innovative, something that was different, big, small, plate carrier, magazine pouch?
I think honestly, for me, the biggest, coolest thing in tech, or the gear-wise, I don't know. There's a lot of gear. I think I would probably have to say the 4CES camouflage pattern. That stuff is simply Predator camo. It just makes you invisible. Like, I've seen the night screenshots of it. I'm just like, how would you, if you were out in the woods and you took off your BDU jacket and you set it down and it was nighttime, there's a good possibility you probably won't find it again until tomorrow. That's how good of a camouflage system it is. So I would say I really love what ADS Inc., the company that makes that pattern, have done. I cannot wait to get some in camouflage patterns for plate carriers and just, clothes. Cool. So for me, I would probably have to say I really like that piece of gear. Other than that, I think everything in Blue Force makes, I'm just a super fan.
I'm there with you. My chest rig, love my chest rig. Absolutely amazing.
I mean, the concept of cutting weight as much as possible to the most minimal possible. I love that idea. I've always been a minimalist my entire life, so having something like that where it's just the essentials and nothing else is really, really awesome. So Blue Force gear. How about you? What's your pick?
Blue Force gear is something that I definitely really love. Like my chest rig, the M4 10-speed chest rig. When I'm done at the end of the day, I roll it up and I put all of it in a dump pouch. And so it's just a dump pouch and it's the whole chest rig, and that's
all my gear. I'm good to go.
And then the other thing that I don't necessarily think it was 2013, but I feel like it picked up a lot more, at least in the airsoft world, is taco pouches.
Definitely,
those are definitely very innovative. Where kind of similar to Blue Force gear, but taco pouches can fit literally anything. So you buy one taco pouch; they are more expensive, but it's like the last pouch you'll ever need to buy.
I mean, they're like what, $30 a mag?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I recently just acquired, I shouldn't say recently, I have had taco pouches in the past, but I recently acquired 3 more that I intend to use on a battle build situation. And honestly, you are 100% right. Taco mags are the most modular magazine system I have ever used. And not to mention just that, but the build quality is phenomenal. HSGI I'm wearing an HSGI belt right now. I have one of those Cobra belts.
Nice.
And they're just, high-speed gear makes great stuff. We have them on our website if you guys aren't familiar with high-speed gear. They make the taco pouches. They make the Sure Grip belt, which I have one, and those things are so good.
Very cool.
Yeah, they just make really, really good products, overall, So I definitely would say us acquiring HSGI is a really cool thing for 2013 for sure. So
pretty exciting for sure.
All right, then. If we're doing 2013, what is your... Okay, let's see.
I like some of the techie stuff. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
off.
No,
I was going to say, what is, your... Because I was thinking about that gun that... Did you watch a Vice documentary about the gun that can basically shoot itself, kind of? Okay, so it's this gun called, it's not AccuPoint. It's, not Aimpoint either. It's something along the lines of, that kind of system. But basically, here's the gun. You set it down. It's a rifle, bolt action, whatever, around 308. You set it down, you look at your target, and it's a computer, a computer scope. And then you laze the target. So, for instance, we'll use bores because those are pretty much what a lot of people shoot. You would laze the bore, and it sends a laser, boom, to the target and bounces it back, telling you exactly where it is. You get your range and meters and everything like that, right? It creates a dot on that target. So if you were to laze the target, let's say human targets, I'm not saying people are going to use this to kill people, but if you lazed, your chest, there's an impact marker put right there. And basically the gun does all the work for you. You hold the trigger down as hard as you can, and then once you line up the sight and the center in your scope, boom, the round fires. And it hits almost immediately with accuracy.
That's cool.
I'll send you the video if you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
It's on Vice if you guys are interested in what I'm talking about. It's really interesting to see what the future of weaponry is going to be. I think that the human element has a lot of errors, obviously, especially when you're firing a weapon.
Or people.
Yeah, I was saying, the human element has a lot of errors. So firing a gun is not always... Tracking point, thank you. Firing a gun is not always going to be... You don't always hit 100% of your shots. But if you could hit 100% of your shots, it really changes the idea of what warfare is going to be. So I think that's a really cool piece of tech that came out. I guess it's kind of in the shooting industry world.
Yeah.
So kind of applies
I was thinking more airsoft, but that sounds amazing. That sounds so cool.
Exactly. I was just trying to think of what cool stuff have I seen recently, and I just remember watching that video, and I was just like, man, that is such a unique concept of just being able to do that. I would love to see stuff like that applied to the airsoft world. I mean, that's really super high techy, you know what I mean? But I want to be able to shoot to 100 yards with an airsoft gun. That's what I just want my M4 to be able to shoot 100 yards.
So that was actually the thing that I was going to talk about in the tech side of airsoft that I've seen in 2013. That's definitely happened, since the beginning of airsoft. Everyone's always trying to make things better, faster, stronger, more accurate. But stuff shout out to Hunter Seeker, for example, coming up with the RHOP and stuff like that.
Definitely.
Technologies like that have been played around with by a lot of other people. But the fact that RHOP, Miracle Barrel, Flat Hops, stuff like that, some of the Maple Leaf stuff, Reaps, all those technologies about applying the best backspin to a BB to give it the most range as possible. I like where that's going within the airsoft world, because eventually, let's say a company decides to mass produce a gun that all of them have an RHOP or all of them have a Miracle Barrel or technology like that. We are essentially talking about airsoft guns having dramatically more range on the battlefield, and if it can be mass produced, where right now it's definitely at a tech level, you have to have a technician work on it or take the time and effort to do it all yourself, which is a lot of time and money. But if it can eventually get mass produced, I kind of have a feeling that's kind of how the airsoft industry is going to go. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I like that progression.
I definitely have to agree with you on this one. I mean, I feel like the Miracle Barrel, the Flat Hop, the R-Hop, once again, shout out to all the people who are making, anything that's innovative. Like, I feel like airsoft has been stagnant for probably a little while. I mean, there's been a lot of cool stuff that's come out, but at the same time, like, nothing really pressing the boundaries, you know what I mean, of airsoft and the limitations with it. So I definitely would say that it's really cool to see that people are still trying to innovate on a thing that's been around for as long as it has. Now, with that being said, I think that the next evolution of that is, what do you want to see in 2014 out of airsoft companies?
What do I want to see in 2014? I would love to see a mass-produced Miracle Barrel R-Hop or something like that, like I just mentioned, so everybody has that range at an affordable price that's just dropped in.
Oh,
that would be great.
Totally forgot BL Tech.
That would be great.
Shout out to BL Tech, first of all, for making an amazing product. I haven't seen it yet, but the idea and the concept of it, I try not to give opinions on stuff I haven't held in my hands, because, just because a Ferrari looks nice doesn't mean it's good to drive every single day. So I like to just actually use it before I get an opinion on it. But, man, that product is cool, and it could really change a lot of airsoft. I mean,
absolutely.
You could see people, EarPro would actually be an advantage. Like, there's a lot of implications for that. I mean, how do you feel?
Well, I think that's really good. And what I want to touch on a point of what I want to see for next year, I'm just going to answer that question really quick, is I've been playing Airsoft for the last 10 years, and there's a lot of technology that I've seen, or just even theories and ideas and ways to tech your guns that at first were like tech only, it's just something that people would talk about on forums and do. So like AOE, correcting your angle of engagement. That's something that back in the day,
proper shimming was a big deal too.
Proper shimming, stuff like that. And the other one was like sorbo pads, stuff like that, and like all those little things.
Sorbo pads, I forgot about those too. Shout out to sorbo pads.
Sorbo pads, cool and then like shaving the second tooth on your piston, for example. I remember there's a time where that wasn't standard at all. That was stuff that like, oh, I bought a brand new AEG and I'm on the tech forums and I know about this, so I go in and shave it, and then my gun's going to be more reliable. Those technologies theories have been proven enough that manufacturers today are now using stuff like that, like sorbo pads, like shaving the teeth off, like the correct AOE, because that technology has been proven, or the theories or whatever, and it's mass produced. That's what I want to continue to see, that Miracle Barrel works really well, R-Hop works really well, and then eventually a manufacturer sees that and like, okay, it's going to take X, Y, and Z to produce this, mass produce this, have it made in China or Taiwan or wherever, and then bring it to, so like, let's say there is a first AEG that comes out by, I'm just going to make it up, completely hypothetical, but like, let's say G&G. This is, every M4 now has an R-Hop, or every M4 has Miracle Barrel. That is such a powerful marketing thing, and I've seen that happen before with smaller things within the industry in the last 10 years.
But it takes so much time. That's the problem. Yeah, it takes a lot of time.
And
I mean, I just to touch on that point really quick before you move on, a lot of people don't understand the kind of money involved with making an airsoft gun. Like, they're like, oh, they've already got the molds, they just make something. You're like, dude, it takes like millions of dollars to produce an airsoft gun. Like, it's not a simple just like, oh, we have the blueprints, let's just make this. Like, it doesn't work like that. Like, I spent a lot of time looking into manufacturing and all that kind of stuff. It takes an inordinate amount of money and time to get stuff made. With that being said, though, I would love so much if for 2014 we could see G&G, VFC, other companies adopting the best of the best systems, but at like a much easier to get into price bracket. Because I feel like newer players to airsoft would love it so much more if they were like, oh man, these guys all have the same range as I do, and we can actually compete together, and I don't feel so outgunned. Because being outgunned can happen. You can feel like you're outgunned all the time.
For sure. So, totally. I definitely agree. And the other thing I want to talk about was like the BL Tech. Like, this would be a long shot, and I don't think it happened anywhere near like next year or anything. But like, imagine a gas blowback rifle, number one, super realistic, with a built-in from the manufacturer some kind of technology that does something similar to a BL Tech.
Right.
That would be great. So it's just like, you got to rack the bolt, you got to, charge it, and then every time you fire, you get the, simulated recoil, and then it goes really loud like a gun. Like,
that's pretty much, other than firing a simunition round, you're almost getting as close to the real thing as you can. You know what I mean? Without actually shooting ammo at each other. So
it would be great. But I just love the evolution of the technology and the theories, and that's really because of like you guys, everybody, and just that guy that goes home and just becomes super obsessed with airsoft and is
how
like,
can I make this better?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's the question that I think a lot of people like go home and they sit down, like they buy an M4 out of the box, and you know, maybe it's the younger players like, how can I make this better for what I want to do? And some of the older guys who have a little more time, they're like, man, I just want to make this thing shoot farther. How can I do this?
Yeah.
You know, and then you start tinkering and stuff. And then you end up with
absolutely.
an R-Hop. You end up with Miracle Barrels. You end up with, hey, why don't we make this into a wide bore barrel, throw a polar shot behind it, and see what kind of range we can get.
And it's just that obsession, and it's the community, and it's you guys that I think really drive this hobby that makes it, you know, continues to make it fun and innovative. Like, okay, so my funny story is I was working at the store, and I believe his Dave from DangerWorks, right?
Yeah,
Dave?
okay.
Okay. So I was working at the store, and
shout out to Dave from DangerWorks, by the way.
Yes,
that is amazing work on custom runs of just little things you would need, like the KMP9 nozzle to tune it down to 350.
And see, this is what made me think about this, because you know, at a certain point he was like, oh, nobody makes this, let me make this for, you know, probably myself, but hey, other people want it, like those super niche things, and it's a, you know, a company name that you now know and recognize. But what I wanted to say, it was really funny because I was at the store and I was helping, you know, this guy out. It was Dave, I didn't know it at the time, and I was like, oh, hey, you know, we're talking and hanging out, whatever, and eventually my question was like, you know, what do you do? And just, you know, chit chat. He's like, oh, I work for DangerWorks. I was like, oh, what do you do for DangerWorks? He's like, oh, I am DangerWorks. I am, and I'm just like, oh, I was like, that's cool. You know, there's one guy.
Well, in that case, come on over to this VIP room.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, just that inspiration that, you know, one person has takes the time and the money and the effort to put it into a product or share it with other people. Like, that's amazing.
And that's amazing to me too, because think about this for a second, you guys. DangerWorks, who it does his own stuff in very limited runs, and we definitely love all the products he makes. He basically just like, okay, this doesn't work, I want to fix it, fixes it, and then a company, KWA, comes along and they're like, oh, that's a really good idea. Yeah, let's make these now because people really obviously want these. So one guy's idea turned into a company supporting the product that he makes. So it's like, it's just really cool to see how we kind of all mesh together to get the best stuff that we can make, you know what I mean, which is really cool. Yeah, so it's 244. I think we've gone over a little bit of stuff for 2014, stuff that we would like to see, I guess. So now we did talk about guns. What do you think from the tactical gear standpoint? Like, what kind of tactical gear would you like to see in 2014?
What kind of tactical
gear? I pretty much already got mine. Like, I really want a set of 4CES camo with a plate carrier. I would love to see some new, I don't know. I just want to see new sights. I feel like there's not enough variety of like red dots. Like everyone's just like, oh, just get, you know, you just get a Trigicon or you just get a EOTech, and you're just like, yeah, that's cool. They're really pricey, guys, but like, I want to see people make gun parts that are equally as comparable for airsoft. You know what I mean? Like, I would love to see red dots that are like $100, but have really good performance, like those ones that you were showing me.
Primary Arms.
Primary Arms, yeah, Primary Arms.
Check them out if you guys have it. Primary Arms is a company. It's designed for real steel, but they make some like T1 replicas that are designed for real steel, but they're very affordable, like a 150 mark, and that's great because they can withstand the recoil of a real gun. I've seen people like throw them on the ground, and I use it for airsoft. The battery, my first battery lasted me a year and a half. And so it's like awesome, but it looked just like a T1, and it was great.
Yeah, exactly, and I would love to see more stuff like that. I think that there's definitely a demand for it. You know, how about you? What kind of stuff do you want to see?
So the one thing I really want to see is, you know, as airsofters, we do everything based off the military and law enforcement. We're replicating
most of the time. Yeah,
most of the time. You know, everyone has their own play style. You know, they have milsim. I'm definitely more of just the minimalist. So I'm not trying to tailor or make it look like anything.
Weekend softer.
Yeah, weekend softer. That's a good way to put it. But one thing that I would really like to see is an extremely well thought out mask that's designed specifically for airsoft. And what I mean by that is, when I go out to play, there are so many different mask setups of like dye I4s, mesh mask, and like goggles and stuff like that.
You got so many. Yeah.
I want to see one mask that can do these features. Okay, number one, it's not going to fog up. That's a gimme. Number two, it's going to protect your eyes, teeth, and ears. A lot of fields require that for protection. Number three, it's going to preferably mesh if you can. See that even that's a personal preference. And then number four, the big thing everybody always wants is I want to be able to aim down the sights.
Yeah,
if you can do
an issue,
all of that, like that's one thing that I've worked in the store with people many times is we have so many sets of goggles and so many different mesh masks and even full face masks that like people are like, oh, I need a mask. I'm like, okay, come to the back, and it's like kind of like a fitting room. I'll be like, try this one on, try this one on, try this one on, see what works for you. Everyone has a different face and everything's like kind of different. So what I would like to see is like one mask with like 3-4 different sizes that can generally fit everybody, but then covers all the features specifically for an airsoft and not just a paintball.
I honestly couldn't agree with you more. I feel like there's just no modularity to like face protection nowadays. It's kind of just like, shit, I hope this fits and it works. Like, you buy a product. I mean, it's tough because I know for you guys airsofters, like, man, what if you live out in the middle of Montana? You don't have options to go to stores. You just have to look online and be like, well, I hope that these guys' kits is going to work for me. Yeah. And you get it, and maybe something doesn't fit 100%. You're not comfortable with it. It's like, hard. Yeah. It's really tough, and I would definitely love to see, some airsoft companies. Lancer Tactical. I know you guys make a lot of products. You guys can make a helmet that has something integrated to it or whatever. Something like that. I think in my mind, I was thinking about this the other day because I honestly was having the same problem. I was like, man, I don't really want to wear a full face all the time. If it was like a fighter pilot mask and it clipped like over everything clipped over, like it was just a solid shield, like your iPro and everything. It just, and then kind of not sealed you in, so to speak, but had a buckle system like that. That would be freaking awesome. That'd be
kind of cool. Yeah. Like, because I mean, everybody has their own, their best set. I love the Hakatsu lower face mask with the replica T800s.
What if you want to wear a helmet though?
Then I can't.
Exactly. And that's an issue because like this sort of also have the mask wearable with a helmet. That's a big issue because you guys see the military dudes are all tacked out. They got night vision helmets. Like, that's really fun to look like. Wear, like headsets. And stuff what if you want to have ear pro? There's so many variables. It definitely is tough. You know what else that I would like to friggin' see? Somebody please come out with a very simplistic radio that just works with the headsets. Just make a good headset and a good radio, and I will be so happy. I can't tell you how many guys are getting questions like, "Oh, I have this radio. Will this work with this headset?" It's just kind of like, "Oh man, I would love to see that."
I could agree with you more on that as well too, and I think that's what brings me to the bigger point of a lot of the stuff that we use is not designed specifically for airsoft. Yeah. It's going to be like a paintball mask, or this is tactical gear for the real military.
The Dye-I-4 is a very good example of that. You'll see a lot of airsofters run Dye-I-4s just because of how good of a mask it is.
And it works
not for paintball. I can't get behind my sights with it.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, these technologies, like even radios, we use them because it serves our purpose. But a lot of this stuff is not specifically designed for airsoft, and obviously that's a much bigger problem with the manufacturing, the cost, and the time, and all that other stuff. But I would like to see some of that stuff come about, and this is all just talk, but I think that would be cool. And if airsoft continues to grow, I mean, who knows,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't know if a lot of manufacturers out there watching our live show, I mean, it's kind of a smaller crowd, but it is definitely wishful thinking, and if you guys are wanting this kind of stuff, I mean, I would say it's not. We talk to the manufacturers whenever we get a chance for new ideas and stuff, but they got a lot of stuff going on from their end too. But if you guys want products or you guys have cool ideas, feel free to go on their Facebook pages and be like, hey, this is a custom mod that I did to my mask. It'd be really cool if you guys offered something like this. Yeah. You never know. It could spark something and create a situation like Danger works with the KMP9 flute valves. So yeah, if you guys are making cool mods to airsoft stuff, send them our way. We would love to see them too because we're always looking for new ideas on how to mount cameras and masks and stuff like that.
Definitely.
We're learning just as much as you guys are out there. So,
and I think just the forums and community, you guys keep that stuff going. If you guys are not in like some of those forums, just talk to one another, share ideas. If it's work, if this is bad and stuff like that. I think that's what really makes airsoft grow.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of a weird thing, is everybody's on forums. Not everybody. I mean, a lot of people on forums on Facebook talking about airsoft because it is something that we're all passionate about.
Yes.
But remember, I mean, the guy standing next to you you're playing airsoft with. If you're on Facebook or whatever and he's asking you a question that seems kind of noobish, so to speak, just indulge him, answer them, because that's going to be the guy that's standing next to you helping you. So if you don't help that dude, guess what? You're not going to be getting any help either. So, it's up to us to bring the airsoft standards up higher, upholding safety. Number one, if you see a friend of yours and he's walking outside of a building without a gun bag, I give you permission to just grab him and be like, what are you doing? Seriously, put this in a gun bag. This is irresponsible. You're going to ruin it for everybody.
Yeah, safety is definitely key. And I think the new player aspect is really important because,
definitely. They just don't know. They just don't know.
And the thing about it, too, is, like, let's say you've been playing Airsoft forever and you're just like, oh, I hate all these new players all the time. This hobby thrives off new players and exists because of new players. There's constantly new players coming in all the time. And so I think it's great when people make a point of like, oh, hey, you don't know what you're doing? Let me show you what a hop-up is. This is how you reload your high-cat magazine, And that kind of mindset, I think you have to keep it with you forever as an airsofter because there's always going to be new players coming. And if you can help them out, befriend them, and, make a good time out of it, that's how this hobby and this community is going to continue to grow. If you just shun them like, look at this noob, you're going to shun that guy, and you're going to shun the next noob and shun the next noob because they're going to keep coming.
Exactly.
But then if you help them out and turn them into a better player, that's what builds the community. I think that's what's much more important.
Yeah, and I definitely think, for all of us as airsofters, it's a really good New Year's resolution, if you will, to help each other. I mean, I hear this so many times. Hey, Josh, I live out in X area. There's not a lot of people to play Airsoft with. I've been playing Airsoft for X amount of years. I have a lot of kit. I just can't find anywhere to play. Like, are there any cool ops that are happening? And I think to myself, okay, I'm not saying that you guys aren't helping people, but like, man, if you could help those people that are maybe asking you questions when you're at your field, you would have more people to play with.
Yeah.
If you want a community, create it. Like, stop saying, oh, there's no one to play Airsoft with. Like, that is not an excuse. We have everything available at our fingertips to do meetups, group things.
Well, we have Airsoft maps on our website, so send us an email. We'll put your map on the radar, and then you can tell people in your local area, here's a map, go to it, and go to the field and play. Yeah,
so, I mean, helping create the Airsoft field that you want to have. If there's a field next to you or there isn't, start talking to people about getting one made.
Yeah.
Start a business. I don't know. There's a lot of really interesting ways to help the community grow. And without you guys, we don't have a job. And, you know, so it's our job to help the community. Like, hands down, that's it. I want to answer a question really quick. Somebody earlier was saying, hey, I saw on your website you guys are selling green gas cans by the case instead of 1 or 2 bottles. We have actually never, ever sold green gas by the can on the website. The reason for that is UPS doesn't like shipping stuff that goes boom. So if you want to get a case, we have to ship it in a case that has all the stickers on it appropriately. So we can only sell it by the case. Otherwise, shipping a can of green gas could lead to potential problems, and nobody wants to be mailing bombs all over the United States.
Yeah, not only that, just to touch on that too, for the green gas, there is a hazmat fee that has to be paid because of the contents of it. So no matter what, if we ship 1 can, you know, the hazmat fee has to be paid for. Right. So essentially, if that would come back down to you guys, 1 can of gas could be in the $40 to $50 range. So that's why it's not
about shipping to your house, I assume.
Right? Yeah. That's just being practical. I mean, that's just something that, you know, it would make a lot more sense if it's a case, and then talk to your friends, talk to your buddies, talk to people at Airsoft Field, and be like, hey, you know, we need some green gas. Everybody chip in a few bucks and get it over there.
Exactly. That was one of the things I was going to recommend. If you have a group of friends that you play with, I mean, how much is a case? Like $100 for a case? Or
I think it's like 110 or 120. You can use
whatever the price is. Whatever the price is. Talk to your friends. Split the cost. Get a can of green gas for everybody. Have it just chill at your house when you guys need it. Grab it. Like, it's seriously the simplest way to do it. So if you guys aren't familiar yet with what we're talking about, we are now shipping green gas. We have been for, I think, about a month or 2. By the case. So if you have a bunch of friends or a team that you play with, definitely take advantage of that. So
so we got about 5 minutes left. Let's see if we can try to do like lightning questions.
Scroll up real quick.
You guys shoot us some questions, and we're going to try to answer them as quick as we can in the next 5 minutes or so. What do we got?
Nothing really there.
When will the grenade launcher for the G&G F2000 come out? From the real Ashboy. First off, I'm going to say, what? I didn't know there was a grenade launcher for the G&G F2000.
Where would it go?
I have no idea. Oh, they had the rail mount that you could put that. So, like, I imagine you could put, like...
It'd have to be tucked back, though. Like, how would you...
I have no idea. I don't know if it's a specific...
If you could send me pictures on my Facebook, I would love to see.
Yeah, we'd like to see that. That'd be really cool. So I have no idea. Sorry if we weren't more helping that.
Yeah, I didn't even know they were coming out with one. So I guess we're not always on the in and out. What was your first big Airsoft
game? That's from Evan Ward?
Lion Claw.
Lion Claw?
Mine was Lion Claw and Disparate, That was my first, like, more than 100-person game. How about you?
First big. Oh, I guess I was thinking about big. I was thinking like first official, like going to like a field and playing. So I went to like Tax City, the Airsoft Playground at the time, years ago. That was probably my first big one. But my first like big one was definitely Lion Claw's 010. And that was awesome. That was amazing.
I went the year after you.
Yes, I didn't go. I didn't go that year, and then I went the year. No, I went 11. But not 12, and then I went 13. Yeah, okay. That's what happened. So that was awesome. It was just, there was a point where I had 16 mid-caps. Each one was 120 rounds, and I ran out of ammo because I was shooting at so many people.
Dude,
that's the best way I can describe that entire event.
I had so many mags on me when I went. And it was, so much weight. I would never run that many again.
And I'm a minimalist, but like I always think in the mindset of like I'd rather have it not need it than need it not have it. So I was rocking 16 mags. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna be needing. And there's like 4 in my backpack, and it was just like mag. I was like, get the mag, you're coming. I was like, oh my gosh, it was amazing. Yeah.
Somebody asked, what do you think of the new multicam color patterns?
I've seen some of them. I think Bob was showing me some of them in the last live show. I think they're cool. I definitely like the evolution of new and different camouflage patterns. So I'm always excited to see that. But I think the 4CES, that stuff you were talking about, that's the most.
It's kind of my go-to for the moment too. Like everyone's asking, like, oh, do you get Cryptek or ATEX? And just kind of like, I mean, Cryptek's cool. Kind of looks like a 200-y camouflage for me. I like it though. Don't get me wrong. I think it looks. I wore it. I mean, it's still cool. Personally, the multicam colorations for me, I've honestly never really been a big fan of multicam. Like I know it looks cool when you have all the gear that matches, but I'm not in the military. How do they have everything matching?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just an airSofter, so like I just what I can get is what I'll go with. But I definitely think that multicam, it's cool looking. The snow one I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So what else? What gun does Bob use? Joseph Sewell. Bob uses. He's got a Tokimura 870 shotgun, gas Tanaka sniper rifle. He's got an LM4, KM P9, his axe clearly. I think he's got an Elite Force pistol and a...
You said the 870, right?
Yeah, he's got the 870. And then an ATP, I believe, an HK45, and an MP7. Yeah, we have... I live with Bob, if you guys aren't familiar. We have a ton of airsoft guns at our house. It's a plethora, an armory, so to speak, if you will. So, let's see. What else we got?
We got about 3 more minutes. We're going to try to refresh the comments really quick because they're not loading anymore.
It is an issue.
Yes.
It is New Year's, and we are going to be heading home at 3 o'clock in 3 minutes, guys. So we're going to go do responsible things. Enjoy.
Be safe tonight, guys.
Festivities.
Have funs. Have lots of funs.
All the funs you can get.
Definitely. No, I think it's been a great year. It's been pretty crazy. Yeah.
You know, a lot of you guys
don't. In Virginia.
A lot of you guys don't know this, but Daniel is quote unquote filling the shoes for Tim. I guess if you will, not really though. Honestly, I mean, we never intended to replace Tim. We never wanted to. I don't think anyone had any intention of that. We always get a lot of questions like, "Where's Tim?" You know, Tim's moving on to other companies and he's doing his own thing now. But Daniel has come in and just done a bang-up job of helping the marketing team, kind of get back on our feet from recovering from that. So, big shout out to Daniel. Like, I really appreciate having a boss who's super cool. So this is my boss, by the way, if you guys don't know.
Appreciate that.
But a lot of you guys don't know. They don't know. I mean, they don't see the behind the scenes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
there's definitely a lot of that going on.
Yeah, exactly. And I wasn't brought in necessarily to replace Tim. So I mean, I'm here. I'm working with the marketing team and I'm helping them out with a lot of stuff. But because I've been playing Airsoft for a long time and because I'm comfortable being on camera and live shows and stuff like that, I'm helping them, film their reviews and do live shows and stuff like that. But I definitely want to say I'm not replacing Tim. I'm not like the next Tim or anything like that, nor do I want to. My first day ever working here, I came in here and I was filling out paperwork to get the job here. And Tim, just being the super cool guy that he is, he's like, "Hey, you're the new guy, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm freaking out on the inside, like totally. Yeah. And I'm like, play cool. And
what's up, man? What's going on?
Yeah.
You play Airsoft too? That's cool.
I wasn't even that suave. Not even. But yeah, he took me out to Carl's Jr. So I mean, like, as much as like everyone out there is a fan of Tim, like I'm like that. And I'm like that to Bob still sometimes. I see Bob and we'll do the live show. I'm just like, this is happening. Like I'm on GI TV. Like I was the guy watching all the episodes and just like refreshing the YouTube channel on a daily basis and just like hitting the new products page every single day. It's like, what's new? What are they coming out with? And just like I don't know. It's been crazy.
Crazy. I think that I can speak for everybody when we say we're really happy to have you in the department, and I think all of our fans and viewers out there have seen you enough now, and everyone's just, I don't know, we're all just happy. So JTV is doing well. Cool.
All right, any last questions? We've got a few more minutes or so. Let's see.
Just because two men live together does not mean.
No. What's the best full metal gun for $300?
You can get a lot of guns for $300.
Echo and Platinum is really good. FMG4s, that's super solid. Yeah. You can get some KWAs. I think like the SR7's like below that.
To give you my definitive answer, I would say FMG4. I mean, you can get a custom rail to whatever one you like, basically set up to however you want to run the gun. So FMG4 would be my choice for the full metal gun. Honestly, like a lot of times I'm finding myself like, oh, could I get this or this? And I'm like, well, why don't you get an FMG4? Like Lonex is really good.
Super solid. All right, maybe 1 or 2 more questions, and I think we're gonna have to call it a day. I'll call it a 2013.
It's been a year. We're not getting a lot of questions. I think the stream's kind of messed up, guys.
I think we're good. We're actually past our point. We're past our point.
Josh, cannot believe I forgot to mention this. What happened to your beard? Basically, what happened was I decided that impressing airsofters was not as cool as dating girls. So I decided to get rid of the beard in favor for the females. It has been a fruitful endeavor, I will say that. So, I mean, I guess I got to find a chick that likes a beard. But I live in California. If I lived like pretty much in any other state, I'd probably have a better option for that. But that's where the beard went, down the sink. So
a girl has it.
I hope not. That would be kind of creepy.
All right, I think this has been our live show, our last live show of 2013. It's been fun. I
know. We have a lot more to go though for next year. So
yes.
If you guys have any questions for me after the live show, if I didn't get a chance to answer your question, please go to my Facebook and message me. I answer every single message I get, and I'll probably be answering messages tomorrow, my day off for New Year's. So if you guys want to hang out and chit chat, I'm more than willing to. The same, probably half goes for Daniel. He'll answer your questions, not his day off, maybe. But
yeah, I'm usually on my phone, and like I take my work home all the time, so I'm on my phone. I'm like, if you guys see tweets or like Facebook posts or Instagrams like on a weekend or something, it's like usually me because I'm just at home. I'm just like, hey, like I'll ask like random questions, like, what do you guys think of this? Or like I saw something cool.
Where are you guys from? I saw that one.
Yeah. I was just kind of curious. I was like, where are you guys ever from? People like all over the place. But yeah, we're gonna wrap this up. This has been our last live show of 2013. It's been a great year, guys. Have fun.
Once again, be very safe tonight, guys. If you're going to go out and have some drinks, make sure you get a driver. Don't drive and drink. That is ridiculous. It's so irresponsible. With that being said, though, big thank you to everybody for coming out to the live show. Thank you for supporting Airsoft GI. Thank you for making this company the company that it is. Without you guys, we wouldn't have any of this.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Thank you guys for making 2013 what it was. And we look forward to a next great year. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm definitely excited for all the cool projects we have going on. We got SHOT Show first thing. So if you guys don't know, we're going to SHOT Show in January. Make sure you stay tuned to the channel. We're going to have a lot of really cool exclusive content. But yeah, that's going to do it for us, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and we will see you guys in 2014.
2014. Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year's, everybody. Oh, no.
It always does this.
Yeah, that's right. Just close that one. Yep. Just close this one.
And this one too, right?
Yeah.